Welcome to Life Extension Live. I'm Dr. Mike. Really excited today here at FENCI in Minneapolis. Great conference to be at. A lot of registered dietitians. I learn a lot at FENCI myself. But today we're going to be talking about aging and the type of toll that aging takes on your skin, which is a big one. That aging process leads to the wrinkles and the discolorizations and everything else we notice on our face as we get older. So we're going to be talking about today. On today's show, I have a special guest joining me. We're going to be talking about the basics on skin health, nutrition, and supplementation. We're going to talk about key nutrients with all the evidence that they help our aging skin. And we're going to talk about some lifestyle factors. So very excited about today. I have Lauren Manaker with me. Welcome.
Thank you.
Great
Thank
to
you
see
for having
you
me.
again.
Good to see you. Always happy to chat with you.
We've talked a lot, actually, in the past.
Oh, yes. We
Yeah.
make a nice team.
Yeah, I like it.
I like
Very
it
good. Well,
too.
thanks for joining me. I want to start. I always kind of interested, like, how did you get started with RD stuff, and how did that become your interest, and where's your passion now?
Yeah, it was just always so interesting to me how we can have control and an impact on our health just by what we're choosing to eat. And that really started my path. I've worked in all different areas, but mostly in women's health.
Yeah.
So communications in hospitals, one-on-one, but women's health, thankfully it's getting more attention.
Yeah.
But in the past, I didn't feel like it was getting the attention it really needed.
Yeah.
So,
And you've done multiple big media stuff. CNN.
yes.
What are the big ones? Like,
So I contribute to a lot of media outlets
Yeah.
just to try to get the messaging out there to as many people as I can. So I contribute regularly to eating well, eat this, not that, pop sugar. I can't remember others, but there are many others.
Life extension.
Life extension.
That's one of your favorites, I heard,
That's
actually. Okay, so.
My absolute favorite.
Good, we got the soundbite. All right, moving on. So we're going to be talking about how aging affects our skin. It doesn't. Skin health is always trending. Everybody's always talking about it, right? Mm-hmm. And so we thought you'd be great to have on, because we're going to talk about some nutrients, but we're also going to talk about some foods and some of the stuff that you are the expert in as well. So when it comes to aging, there's basically intrinsic and extrinsic factors that affect the skin. What do you think? Give me one intrinsic factor. What do you think?
I would say inflammation.
Ding, 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 ding. Well, that's the key thing. You just nailed it.
Well, what do I win?
Oh, we got supplements over there. So, yeah, inflammation is definitely a big one. Blood sugar levels, another one. It's called glycation. So there's a lot of things that happen internally. Even a lot of the foods we eat can raise inflammation.
Yep.
They raise. So we're going to get into that coming up. And then, of course, there's extrinsic factor. For another life extension product, what's the main extrinsic one?
The main one, I don't know what's in your mind, but I think pollution and stress are two that come to my mind.
I love it. Ding,
Okay.
ding, ding. She gets another product.
Hooray.
Ray. And of course, I was thinking UV light.
Oh, yes, duh. UV light.
Sun exposure.
Yeah.
But I liked what you said,
My
too.
professional duh.
There's nothing wrong. That was all great. Perfect answers.
Thank you.
Yeah, so those intrinsic factors, extrinsic factors are really listed out as some of the key reasons we start to see the wrinkles.
Absolutely. Yep.
Discolorizations. Mm-hmm. Things drop.
Yeah, things change.
Things change. So we're going to get into some of that kind of information. But before we started, we're talking about some of the conventional skin treatments.
Yes.
I think you actually do, right?
I do some. I dabble.
You dabble? So what do you dabble in?
So I dabble in Xeomin injections once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
I started microneedling.
Oh.
Which has been, I love it. Very interesting. I use retin-A, tretinoin regularly. I wear sunscreen every day. I think that counts because that makes a big difference.
100%, yeah.
Those are the main ones, an occasional facial, but I don't think those have a huge impact.
They need to come up with a better name, microneedling. That just doesn't sound fun.
Yeah, well, it's not fun, so I think they're being very honest with what it is. And I'm so happy I'm here because I see so many of my friends and even colleagues putting in so much effort and time and money into these treatments, and they're neglecting to acknowledge that what we're putting in our body can impact their skin health too.
Well, yeah, great point. I think about it this way: the amount of time and money that you spend on some of these procedures, if you're not also taking care of what you're putting on, what you're eating, what's going on the inside, it's kind of like you're not going to see great results.
Yep,
it's like, what's the point?
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
if you're putting in this effort, hit it from all sides, right?
Yes.
I mean, you have to eat anyways, so let's try and tackle the goal from all different angles.
You have to eat anyways, yeah. So why not do it right?
Right, yeah.
And so my as long as you're doing procedures like that with a licensed practitioner, has experience, you're happy with that person, go for it.
Okay, so my friend who's telling me to buy a microneedling for myself, probably not a good idea.
I'm
too scared.
I probably would stick with somebody that knows what they're doing.
I think not worth the money saver.
So let's go back to those intrinsic factors, okay? And because these are things that we know we can manage,
Yeah.
right? By what we eat and even some supplementation,
Yeah.
right? So the first big one that I wanted to go back to was that blood sugar stuff. Sugar's everywhere.
Yeah, sure is.
I mean, come on. And now they're coming up with new names for it. So it's like hidden in food sources and packaged foods and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I've always said, I know we got to watch, we want to have a balanced diet, and I know people are into the low fat, all that. I've always said sugar's the real culprit across the board.
Well, I think also people don't realize how much sugar they're getting in their diet.
Yeah.
Because it is so hidden and our portion sizes are just not what is recommended to eat, that it sneaks up on you.
So when sugar gets into the system, one of the key damaging effects it can have is it's called glycation. All right. I always like to think of sugar as a high energy molecule, right? It's not just going to sit around. You're either going to burn it, you're going to store it, or it's going to cause damage. It's just not going to sit there and be happy.
Right.
And so glycation is that process where sugar basically binds to proteins throughout your body, and it destroys the structure of that protein, which means then that protein cannot function. You have to think of it. Everything in life has a structure-function relationship.
Yep.
I have an analogy.
Yes, let's hear it.
My hand.
Yes.
See my hand?
I do. I do see it.
It's a working hand.
Uh-huh.
I got fingers. I got a wrist that's connected to it, right? And I can do things. I can pick up my pen.
Yep.
And I can write with it. So there's a structure-function relationship in my hand. What if I break my hand? What if I smash it?
You cannot hold your pen.
So the structure was damaged, and I've now lost function.
Right.
Same thing with proteins in your body when sugar binds to them. It ruins the structure, that ruins the function.
Right.
How does that relate then to aging skin?
Well, we depend on certain proteins to
got it.
support our skin health. So if we're breaking down those proteins, we can see those negative effects that a lot of us really don't want to see.
Very good. So 3 key proteins for skin health: collagen, elastin, and then the third one is one that we don't talk about a lot. I've called it the new collagen. It's keratin. It's that outside part, that last barrier between the outside and the inside.
Yeah, it's exciting for me seeing it showing up in more products.
Love it.
People are finally hopping on board.
And it needs to be talked about more. We're going to talk about it. So basically, you got these 3 structural proteins. And at the beginning of the show, if you remember, I teased this as, what are we going to do about the toll that aging takes on our skin? We're going to have to take steps to control those structural proteins, save them, protect them, increase them, right? And so that's what we want to get into. So if you go with collagen first, right? Collagen is that main protein. It's the scaffolding.
Sure, that's a great way to put it.
Yeah. It's the framework. That's another way. And if that's being attacked by sugar, think about the result of your skin.
Yeah.
Wrinkles, all that kind of other stuff. So we want to protect collagen from that. We also want to help the body increase collagen. But what do you think in your own practice and your own your friends and family? What do you think about then just collagen supplements? What's your deal?
I think people are a little confused because on one hand they're hearing messaging that we need to consume so much collagen without specifying any other detail.
Okay.
And then on the other hand, they're being told that ingesting collagen does nothing. And there's no point in making a point to consume products with collagen. So some err on the side of, well, it's not going to hurt. Others say, well, then what's the point? So I think people are kind of left scratching their heads at this point.
Well, yeah, so I agree with the idea that if you're just taking, let's say collagen supplements, right? If you're just taking collagen by itself, it's the full collagen molecule, yeah, you're not going to absorb a lot of that, right? And so I agree with people that say, well, collagen doesn't get into my system, it doesn't help. But research has shown that when you take that big collagen molecule and you chop it up into little pieces, those pieces are called peptides. When you ingest those, they do absorb, and you will see a boost in collagen production.
Yeah.
So it depends on the type of formulation.
Yes.
You got to make sure it's the peptides.
Okay, and then you're getting those amino acids.
You get all those amino acids that are there. A couple cool things about that: some of those amino acids can play a role in being used to make collagen, but ultimately those peptides talk to the cells that produce collagen and they activate them. So you see this whole ramping up of collagen production by taking these peptides.
Sure. And I like when people take collagen. There's also a proposed bone health benefit to collagen too. So I don't mind if their motivation is skin, but they can get that extra benefit as well.
100%. We're focusing on the skin today with it. No, but collagen has other benefits in the body. There's no doubt about that, and I agree. But again, regardless of what you're trying to do, skin, joints, bones, whatever it is, it needs to be the peptide form.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned some people think that they got to take a whole bunch. You really don't.
Yep.
1.5 to 2 grams or so a day.
Yeah, and that's easy to find.
Yeah, it's very simple. So you're not taking, that's not a lot.
Yes, I think what I'm starting to see is people jumping on the trend that people are looking for collagen. So we're finding a lot of these collagen teas and candies and food products where they're adding just a teeny tiny amount, and that's probably not going to do what people want them to do.
That's one of the big issues that I have with, I got to be clear, I mean, there's a lot of companies there, but
some of them are here.
People jump on the trend.
Yes.
And then they add a little bit of collagen, and now they can put it on the front label.
Exactly.
And that's fine. There's collagen in it. But again, and this is where I love working with Life Extension. So much dedication goes into what is that right dose? Mm-hmm. What is the standardization I need to reach for? What's the correct formula? And that's what you find with the companies that are doing it correctly.
Sure. No, I agree. And it's nice to lean on companies where you don't really have to do so much homework because they're just going to do the right thing.
We have the track record. Right.
Yeah.
And so that's fantastic. Collagen peptides, one of my favorites. My co-host, Dr. Crystal, I know she's been taking them for a long time. She loves it, and she loves the results that she's getting. And it will complement some of that other conventional stuff you're doing.
Yeah.
100%.
As long as you're taking the right one, I don't really see the downside.
Right. Now, let's talk about keratin, because that's not, a lot of companies don't have that yet. I think you'll start seeing it.
Yes.
I think you'll start seeing it.
Yes.
I do call it the next collagen. Not that collagen is going away, but it needs, I'm trying to give keratin some love.
Yep.
Trying to get it some notoriety the way collagen has. And so, again, it's that outside layer. And a lot of people think, well, it's the outside layer. It's not really doing much. I'm like, what do you mean it's not doing much?
Right. You kind of need that outside
it's
layer,
stopping water loss.
Yeah. It's kind of important.
Yeah.
Especially if you don't want to see those wrinkles. What do you think it's doing there?
Yeah, it's there for a reason.
Yes.
And so that formal term for that is transdermal water loss. And we want to minimize that. And if we're losing keratin because of glycation, remember that's kind of where we're talking about here, glycation, those sugars attacking these proteins, breaking them down, you're going to lose more water.
Sure.
And hydration becomes an issue.
Yep.
And
as you lose water, you see the effects of it.
Yep. So I think there's already some keratin creams and stuff out there. And again, you even see that with collagen. That could be fine. I'm not going against those. But we do know the best way to replenish that keratin, just like collagen, is to take small little pieces of that keratin. In this case, it's called solubilized.
Okay.
And it's the same thing. It's just it's a formulation that allows your body to manage and absorb it.
Okay.
And that gets into your system. It will also stimulate the production of the keratin from those cells that make it, just like the collagen, and you're going to see better control of water loss.
I will admit, I'm realizing this right now as you're speaking. I do not take a keratin supplement, and I don't know why. Until today. Well, now we're going to start today. I think I'm just not in the habit. We don't hear about it that much.
Remember, you won a couple products already.
Oh, yeah, I did.
I don't know, Dr. Krista, do we have keratin out there? I don't know if we do. If you do, we'll get you some.
Fantastic. If not, I'm happy with any prize you want to give me.
All right, so that's keratin, that's collagen. Ultimately, now what I want to ask you, because you're the RD specialist.
Yes.
So I've given a lot of nutrient add-in information about how to help collagen and keratin, help the body produce more of that, boost their levels, because sugars break them down. Let's talk about diet then.
Yes. And that's such a key point that I feel like people don't always focus on. We're looking at the supplements, we're looking at the creams and the procedures, but we got to look at the big picture here.
100%. Dr. Crystal, my co-host, she always says food first.
Food first. Thank you, Dr. Crystal.
Food first. And because I'm the nerdy scientist, medical doctor guy, I'm the one that just wants to go right into the science and everything. She's like, no, let's talk about what you're eating first.
Yes, absolutely. And, you were talking about the blood sugars. We want to go for a anti-inflammatory diet that helps reduce those blood sugars. That combination may help support skin health, but so many other aspects of our health too. To me, the skin health is the icing on the cake. For many others, it's their main focus. Whatever gets you there, if we can focus on those anti-inflammatory foods, when we're focusing on skin health, I like to tell people to go for as many foods that have a lot of antioxidants.
So, okay. Anti-inflammation, antioxidants.
Which kind of go hand in hand in many ways.
But I need help.
Yes.
Remember, I'm the medical doctor. We don't talk about food or anything like that. So I need help. You got to get what are your top food choices then? Like what would you like to see me eating for lunch?
Do you know what was so surprising to me? I found one of the foods that has the most antioxidants per bite, let's say. It isn't even a fruit. Do you know this?
I don't know what it is.
It's a red bean.
A red
kidney bean.
A kidney bean.
A red kidney bean is one of the best sources of antioxidants. So that's kind of a Jeopardy question for you. I thought that was really interesting.
It is. So okay, but let me extrapolate that. Does that mean overall the beans, the legumes, all good choices,
all
anti-inflammatory?
Yeah. See, it checks both boxes.
Lots of antioxidants.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that because that's a perfect example of it checking both boxes. So you don't have to go through all that mental effort of figuring out what fits into both pockets.
Yeah.
Fruits and veggies.
Of course.
Which we are not eating enough of.
Color. Get color in there.
As many colors as you can.
Yeah.
I've started drinking carrot juice.
I do like carrot juice.
I love carrot juice.
Yeah, I do like it too. Yeah.
And I do think it's made a difference on my skin. I really enjoy it.
It's the carotenes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Vitamin A's, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. I think that's 100%. You're spot on there.
So I've been doing that. Also, I've read that it may help protect your skin from UV damage from the inside out, which is amazing to me. But still wear your sunscreen. And then nuts are another one that are just dynamite when it comes to antioxidants.
So I was taught once by a nutritionist years ago that when I look at any whether it's maybe it wasn't breakfast, but like lunch and dinner, she taught me the 80-20 rule.
Uh-huh.
And now I don't know if no, hold on, this may not be the 80-20 rule that you're thinking of. Well, and maybe it is. I don't know. It's 80. I should see 80% plant-based.
Okay.
On my plate, 20% protein.
Okay. I believe that. I've heard a different 80-20 rule.
There's another one out there, but that's what I was taught. And it really hit me because I realized growing up that my plates were reversed.
Yeah, most people's are.
Yeah. I was 80% protein, 20%, and usually that the plant-based side was the basic potato.
Sure. But you know what's cool about
everything
protein?
was brown.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
right,
It's
yeah.
like such a sad little brown plate.
Yeah.
But with protein, I'm going a little off track. I totally am with you with that 80-20 rule. There are some protein sources that are also anti-inflammatory and provide antioxidants.
Well, a lot of them could be plant-based. Is that where you're going?
They could be plant-based, but a lot of those seafood choices that are naturally pink and red,
Yeah.
they give you those healthy fats, anti-inflammatory, and they have antioxidants in them.
Yeah, I love that. We, I know and learned recently about what are called, they're categorized as ground fish.
I don't know what
These
that
are just
is.
the bottom fish. They're usually flat.
Oh,
Your
okay.
soles, your rockfish.
Oh, yeah.
Black cod. These are kind of these lower.
Yeah, love 'em all.
And they're sustainable because they're on the floor, so they're harder to produce. But they have some of the highest protein levels, some high vitamin levels.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think it was the rockfish that has high selenium levels.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I'd believe it. And all good for your skin.
Love it.
Again, win-win.
Yeah, that's great stuff. So when you help us out, I'm going to ask you a couple personal things about your diet.
Okay.
What is? Run me through an average day for you, like breakfast, and you don't need to go into specifics, but give
yeah.
us an idea of what an expert RD is doing.
Well, let me add some caveats.
Okay,
Expert RD,
sure.
who is very busy, managing a business, managing a child who's in a lot of activities. So I wish I was one of those that was cooking homemade meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I'm not. It's not happening.
I get that. I get it.
But you could still do it, right? You could still get in those fruits and veggies and those nutrients without, cooking up a storm every day, which I am, again, not going to do.
Before you say anything, but what you just kind of paint the picture of is the average kind of parent, at least
Sure.
in this country,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
It's
busy.
not happening,
Yeah.
right? So I start every morning with a smoothie. It's just easy. It's easy for me. I get to put all of my fruits in, my veggies in. I do some yogurt. I'm a dairy milk girl, so I do dairy milk. So I start my day with a smoothie with nut butter for,
Love that stuff.
a lot of the anti-inflammatory benefits from there. So that starts my day. Chia seeds, hemp seeds, all the seeds we want in there. And then sometimes I will make a coffee-based smoothie.
Okay, I
Because
like
I don't
that.
have enough time to drink both. So
Maybe we need to have a vacation before you come.
as I'm saying all this, I'm like, maybe my issue is stress more than the lack of supplements, which can impact your bone health too.
Yeah.
And then I'll have just an easy snack in the middle of the day. That might be some whole grain crackers with some more nut butter. Lunch is usually a sandwich.
Okay.
With some more
wait,
fruit.
before you go to lunch, I got something you could add to that smoothie.
Yes, please.
Collagen peptides. Comes in powder form too.
Why am I not doing this? I do add
See how I got that
probiotics
in,
to my
Dr. Crystal?
smoothie. I'm in. Can I add a keratin supplement to my smoothie, or would that taste weird?
I don't know what that would taste like. Keratin? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Crystal's like, yeah, go for it.
I'm gonna try that.
Yeah.
Why not?
Throw
right?
it all in there. You're busy.
I'm busy. I can't do it all.
Yeah.
I cannot do it all.
Okay, let's move to lunch because that
Okay.
was just so you know.
Lunch is usually a sandwich, and I make a point to not eat my lunch in front of screens. Even though I'm alone,
Take a break.
I sit alone. I'll sometimes maybe talk to my mom on the phone, but I am not working and eating or watching TV and eating. I'm breathing and enjoying my lunch.
You're being mindful at that moment.
Yes.
You're in the moment. You're
Exactly.
enjoying lunch. All that stuff can wait.
Yep.
And it'll be there when you get back.
I mean, we're talking 15 minutes, not an
Yeah.
hour, but just a brain break,
okay.
right?
Okay.
And then, the rest of the day varies, but before bed, I do take my magnesium supplements before
Very
bedtime.
good. We like
I
that.
usually will have some kind of tea throughout the day.
Very nice.
I try and only have 1 cup of coffee during the day. A lot of plant-based proteins for dinner. I do make a point to eat seafood twice a week
Very good.
to get those healthy fats in. I do eat a little bit of red meat just for the iron.
Okay, I like that. That's
With
no
my
problem.
veggies and my
Yeah.
whole grains. So, good balance. It's a little challenging with a child who only wants to eat chicken nuggets all day. But, we make
It's
it
hard
work.
not to snack some of those
Well,
too, right?
sometimes I'll have chicken nuggets, Chicken nuggets on top of a salad. Fantastic,
Yeah,
right?
great. I've done that
So,
before.
you know
actually,
what?
yeah.
You make it work.
Yeah.
And every day is not perfect. But
Of course.
you do what you can.
Don't shoot for perfection because you can't.
There's no such thing as perfection.
It's more consistency.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
if you have a day that you knew, okay, I could have done better, fine. You got another day coming up.
Yep.
Right.
Oh, you know what else I do? I'm very into this, and this is very controversial in the dietitian world. I love iceberg lettuce,
Okay.
And people say it has no nutrients. It does. And
Not
I think
true.
it tastes delicious. So
Yeah.
I do a lot of salads with iceberg lettuce and chickpeas and like whatever I have in my pantry, right? Like
Yeah.
jarred
Love it.
artichoke, whatever, Trader Joe's salad dressing, delicious, dill-based dressing. And I do that a lot for lunch. too.
Iceberg lettuce is not nutrient poor.
Thank you.
It's also has a lot of water, so it's a hydrating type of food,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's really key. I like to do iceberg, and I'll usually mix like arugula with it or something.
Yeah.
But I like the crunch.
It has a great crunch.
Yes, and sometimes
I
you
like
want
the
that
direction
feel.
we're going right now.
Yes,
Just-
we agree a lot on our food, so we're happy together.
and this has become an iceberg lettuce
Love
show.
it. Yes, I love that. I want one more question for you.
Yes.
As we wrap it up, you kind of quickly said in there when you were talking about your smoothie that you're a cow's milk girl.
Yes.
Why did you feel you needed to say that? I'm just curious.
Because there's just a lot of opinions when it comes to different kinds of milk. And I focus on my skin health, but I also focus on my bone health. And I know with cow's milk, it always is going to have the same amount of nutrients, and
Yeah.
they're nutrients that I need for my bones.
Yeah, I'm kind of, unless you have some, sensitivity to it.
And I like the
Mm.
taste of it.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, okay. I was just curious.
yeah, I don't know. People get a little funny when it comes
No
to
one
milk.
should get funny. Everybody is allowed to make their decisions.
Thank you.
And if cow's milk's not for you, there's a lot of alternatives
That's
now.
right.
But if it
Just
is,
like
go
if
for it.
iceberg lettuce is not for you, you can have arugula.
You could do it, yeah. And you just make it sure that there's more plant-based stuff in your diet. Right?
Absolutely.
Lauren, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I always
this
have a good
is
time
always
with you.
fun.
Yeah, we always have a good time.
We do.
I learn from you. I think you learn a little bit from us.
I learn a
Yeah.
lot from you.
That's fantastic.
Now I'm going to take my keratin in my smoothie.
Yes, and you're going to go play. What is that? Plinko? What is it called?
Oh, yeah.
And you're going to win some more.
Oh, I'm in.
Yeah.
I am so in. Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Don't forget, we go live every Wednesday at 12 noon Eastern Time. Our sponsor, Life Extension, which is we're at the booth, Life Extension, would like to say thank you. So if you go to lifeextension.com, go shopping. When you check out, use the discount code LELIVE, and you'll get 10% off free shipping and handling.
Cool.
And over $50 or more plus free shipping and handling. That's LE Live as the discount code. And don't forget, whatever channel you watch us on, please like us, share us, hit interested, whatever things you got to do, ring bells on your. All these channels are different with things, right? Whatever it is, so you always know when we're about to go live. That's 12 noon Eastern Time every Wednesday. I'm Dr. Mike. Thanks for watching.